They call me Hell. They call me Stacy. They call me Her. They call me Jane. That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name.
Well, that was a little tribute to everybody'sgay.com. They do lots of lip syncing in their stuff so that it makes serious things not so serious. So I decided to give it a try. Maybe that's not my song. I wanted to do my next post about misnaming people or mispronouncing someone because that's something that's very important within the trans community to a lot of trans folks. To others, it is not, but I know that for myself personally, if someone calls me something that I would prefer they didn't, it's uncomfortable. I would prefer that they didn't do it again. There's a few ways to go about this. I mean, there's more than a few, there's many ways to go about this. What I prefer to do is to kind of take every situation into account for what it is and the person and that kind of a thing, and especially the context. If I have been misnamed and they look at me and they realize that they've done it and they look at me and they're like, ooh, and I look at them and I see that they realize it, then I usually just smile, like give them like a little, like, it's okay, don't worry about it, like, you know, you'll get it next time. And that usually clears it up pretty good. It usually sticks in someone's head a little bit better than if you were to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you misnamed me, and how could you, and I thought you were my friend, and really in the end, everybody screws up. Everybody screws up once, everybody screws up twice, everybody screws up more than that. If it becomes a problem, then you need to have probably a different conversation than in the middle of the cafeteria with 375 other people that are there. If someone mispronouns you, oftentimes that one is less noticed by other people. They're just talking and they say it and they don't even realize it, and now your stomach has fallen out of your butt and you feel like you might throw up. Usually I prefer not to address it in front of other people. It makes me uncomfortable to talk about in a big group of people. If it's around my friends, usually another friend of mine will have looked at me and kind of like, ooh, like they give you that look like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they just did that, or something like that. And then if everyone else kind of continues with the pronouns that you prefer, that usually helps the other person kind of realize that they said something wrong. If not, or if you still feel like you need to address it later, I usually try to do that one-on-one, kind of like, hey, I noticed the other day when we were hanging out that you called me she, and I prefer to be called he. And I usually try to just make it seem like it's not that big of a deal, but that this is just what I prefer. Oftentimes people don't know how to tell other people what they want to be called, or they don't know how other people want to be referred to. And it's good when you're meeting someone to be like, hey, I'm Kyle, I prefer male pronouns, and then the other person will realize that they can tell you what they prefer and that they're in a safe space. It's also really big on education because people who have never heard that before, like, what do you mean pronouns? What are you talking about? Like, it's a really good way to just get them informed that there's more than just what you look like is what you are, or he or she, or anything like that. And so that really opens it up to a lot of conversation. Yeah, so I think that's a few ways to go about it. Oftentimes it's good to have an ally. If you want your friends to support you in a situation like that and they're able, that's also super helpful. To know that if you're in a situation and that happens, it's not all you. You're not the only person who has to stand up for yourself, that you have other people with you. And if you don't, then you got to find some people. Find your people. If you really are truly, truly, truly alone, or you feel that you are, the more that you stand up for yourself, the more that you let other people know how you want to be referred to, the more likely that it is that they can support you and then that they can be your friends in that situation. Hopefully that helped. I really encourage you guys to keep emailing me, keep Twittering me, keep Tumbling me. That sounded creepier than it was. And let me know what I can clear up for you. So hopefully you will have a good evening or day or whenever you're reading this, listening to it. And yeah, have a good one.